Hey there, welcome back to my channel where I feature creative space and alternative home tours. A few years ago, I featured a tour of a home that was inspired by the lunar lander, and I thought I'd never feature a home more out of this world than that one, but I was wrong, because in today's video, we're gonna take a tour of a tiny home that looks like a flying saucer. This space is not only ridiculously cool, but it's also one of the most popular Airbnbs out there. So if you're interested in the experience of feeling like a Martian who's just landed on Earth, you better book well in advance. Today we're going to take a tour with Ronald, the owner of this extraterrestrial structure, who's going to tell us about the history and how his son inspired him to build something out of this world. This video is a continuation of my channel's partnership with Airbnb, where I show you some of the most unique and quirkiest rentals around America and share the stories behind the hosts that own them.
Hi, I'm Ronald Jackson, and welcome to Area 55 Futuro House. The Futuro homes were developed in the 1970s as vacation homes. Less than 100 were made. Currently to date, there are maybe about 60 or maybe a little bit less than 60 in the entire world. We always wanted to do an Airbnb. I knew I wanted to do something creative and something different. If you really want to stand out and thrive, you have to be able to think outside of the box. As soon as I came out here to this land, I just instantly felt inspired. I Googled UFO house, and this was the first thing that popped up. I went down a rabbit hole of the Futuro's history and just learning everything that I could, to the point where I just started trying to track down and hunt down owners that were willing to speak with me and potentially sell. And that's how we ended up here. One of the main things that I did this for was for my son. My son was born May 14, 2019. This was mainly done for my son because I wanted to have something for when he's older, he can take and run and do whatever he would like, have passive income, so on and so forth. One of the goals is to make our space very user-friendly, as simple as possible. If I were to come here as a guest, I would want to come here and be blown away. It's from, I see the spaceship, get excited, to what is glamping, and I want to experience glamping. This is an extension of me, and I want everyone that is here that's visiting to have a good time and enjoy themselves. One of the main questions I get is, are you really booked up till December 2022? I have bookings as soon as it opens and I say it, it's literally has booked within 10 seconds. The demand is so high. I started with a budget of $60,000. I very much so surpassed it. There was a lot more that went into it, from purchase to delivery, refurbishing, and I've changed interiors maybe 3 or 4 times already. The overhead is surprisingly very little. That's one of the benefits you get of having an off-grid glamping experience. Being that we're solar powered, we're not burdened with an electric bill. But on the income side, at this point, we've definitely have broke even. It's allowing for us to do a lot of wonderful things, like saving to then create our second project. Here we have one of our solar panels. This solar panel in general is only for the door. The reason we had it this way is just that should there be any sort of overpower usage of our main power, this is on its own separate power system, so that we'll never have any technical issues with our door opening or closing. Just over here on top of the pergola, we have 8 375 kilowatt solar panels up there that are powering everything inside the Futuro. The structure itself is actually made out of plastic and fiberglass. It can make it quite difficult to maintain in a lot of these harsh weathers, but you know, we've put a lot of love and care into it, and I think it's great. It is sitting elevated on these steel beams that I actually had to have fabricated because the original ones were so rusted from their original place of sitting in Wisconsin. Just wanted to be safer. And so I had these constructed. These are just the toughest steel beams you can get. What we did is we actually poured concrete on the ground to make these little platforms for all 4. And we have them bolted here going up into the Futuro, where we have these bolted into the Futuro to keep it stable. We get high winds up to 40 miles an hour out here. Over here, we have the outdoor shower. Let's check it out. These lights around here are solar powered as well. So if it's at night, they will automatically cut on for you. You don't have to worry about turning them on or off. And our shower is cold water and hot water. If you're coming out here and it's a really, really hot day, you can easily just come here, cool off. Or if it's a little bit colder, you can turn the heat on and have a nice hot shower. Here we have our water supply for the shower. This is a 2,500 gallon water tank that we have hauled in. I've had this last as long as up to 3 months before I've had to refill. We have our glamping restroom. Here is the inner workings of it. It is completely solar powered, and we have a car battery inside. And it's just a simple hookup to where, you know, when you want to use this restroom, all you have to do is just flip those 3 switches on the inside and the bathroom will start on up for you, and you can use it with running fresh water to wash your hands and also fresh water to flush after use so you don't get that really nasty reused water smell. People can just feel like, you know, they're getting their sanitary needs met. I felt this offered the best glamping sort of experience for guests. Out here, we have our pergola outdoor kitchen area where we have 2 grills that you could use. One for your larger things, like if you wanted to put an entire turkey in there, you could. Or if it's just regular grilling, you can do that as well. The fire pit area, it's forever changing and evolving. When I come out here, I like to kind of just create that aesthetic that I would enjoy. This area is our outdoor game area. Over here, we have one of my favorites. It's called bowling. It is basically bowling and football mixed together. I just feel like it was just a nice little extra touch that people would enjoy. One of my favorite things about this location being in Joshua Tree is the silence. Also, you get beautiful, beautiful views. You just kind of get a sense out here of just being away, but still close enough to where if you need to run into town to get something, it's just a quick 5 to 7 minute drive, and then you're coming right back out here to just peace and quiet. Come on in. What I've gone for in here is a very open concept floor plan. The space is just a little bit over 400 square feet. We have these ottoman couch / bed situation here where these can fold out, or you can have them as individual single beds. Then over here is more like a bar sort of sitting area where you can have your coffee and or teas, as our kitchen is outdoors. But in here, you can bring your food in, obviously, whether, you know, if you want to sit here and with your friends or family, or if it's just you and a loved one and you guys want to have a nice, beautiful view of the mountains just over this way. And over here we have a vintage VHS tape player TV. I thought it was really awesome. It's very nostalgic for me. I remember growing up on these things, so I just felt it was only right to get one of these, along with getting all your favorite alien-inspired VHS tapes. We have lots of storage here under each of these. With 400 square feet, you have to really make use of every single space you can. And with Craig and Lisa, they were actually a Home Depot find. They were actually on sale for Halloween, and there was no way I could not get them. And over here we have our little vintage inspired mini fridge. This is actually a new addition. Being that we are an off-grid experience, we have to be very conservative of our power. And at the same time, you know, I understand when guests come, you know, if they want to go out and grill and have like ice cold drinks, we have to figure out ways outside of bringing in huge buckets of ice to help them. So we have this here. It has been wonderful so far, and we have had no power outages that I know of yet. One of the other things that we have to be very mindful of out here in the desert of Joshua Tree is that it gets very, very hot in the summers. And one of the ways that we've crafted to kind of help combat the heat is creating these sort of handmade window covers. Essentially, we had blackout covers over our windows. Aesthetically, it just didn't look the greatest to me, and I just felt like we needed something a little sleeker. What I enjoy about these are that this is essentially an insulation. It does a wonderful job, and you can easily just pop these on and take them off and stack them just to the side. And over here, we have my favorite. We have my egg chairs. These were Amazon finds. I searched all over the internet, from eBay to Facebook Marketplace, even went to a couple vintage stores, and even the ones I came across, they were just so expensive. Definitely one of the eye catchers within the Futuro that guests are drawn to, you know, just being that you can sit back and you can grab one of these pillows and kick your feet up, turn on the stereo, and just really enjoy it, because they are very comfortable and they're just nice to be in. The Fluence speaker, I love this speaker. I got it mainly because the aesthetics were so beautiful and I felt that it just fit this entire area, because it gives a futuristic yet still a very vintage look, and it sounds incredible. So over here we have our space heater. To power this is simply just by propane. This can really get up to temperature and keep all the guests very warm. And just over here we have a Toshiba air conditioner. This is actually the biggest power generator. So we have a generator just outside that guests can turn on that will power the AC and cool down the space. And then also for ventilation, up here we have a solar attic fan. Our attic vent is completely solar powered, and it just runs as the sun is on it and just keeps it at a nice level room temperature. We have this area here that kind of gives a more of a fun, sort of childish like thing where you can bring your board games, cards, whatever, and you can play right here and just enjoy, and you still get a beautiful 360 view. It's called Area 55. If you look up the meaning of the number 55, it says something about happiness, success, like unforeseen success, which this has been for us. This is not just a money thing for me. You know, this is a passion project, and it's something that I really care about. I want everyone to ultimately just come with an open mind, leaving all negativity, bad energy out the door, come and just be. And I think they'll have the experience that they're meant to have.
Thanks for watching this week's video. Make sure to check out the other unique and out of this world home tours that I have on this channel.